Hi there, you guys. In this video, I'm going to introduce and talk about, first of all, the Essay3 Research Project assignment sheet. We've been talking about this general topic and the assignment that you have about it for the last several weeks. So there's not going to be anything in this assignment sheet that is brand new to you, but we'll go over the requirements for the assignment, or I will in this video, and talk about this assignment here that's related to it, the 6.3 Essay 3 Pre-Writing, Pre-Research Specific Topic Selection, being asked to submit several things to this assignment. Talk about that. And then I'll talk about source reports 1 and 2, which are related. Okay, let me start by just going through this assignment sheet with you, since we haven't really done that. Oh, it's too small. I don't want to look at it that small. Hang on just a second. Let me find it. Let me find it here. No, not Zoom. I want English 1A. Sorry, this was not intended to be part of the performance for this video. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, so it's called the Essay3 Research Project and the Social Construction of Race in America, which, as I said, is stuff we've been talking about already a lot the last several weeks. And I think, as I explained previously to you guys, what I did with this assignment in order to accommodate the fact that we're in Zoom, and also we're in a compressed schedule now. This schedule used to be an 18-weeker. Now it's a 16-weeker. So what I did is I got rid of the research paper that I usually give in this class. And instead, I sort of folded the research project into the Essay3 assignment. I combined those. I used to give this as a separate assignment that was shorter, okay? But instead, I got rid of the longer separate research paper and made this one a little longer to compensate for the fact that the college requires you guys to do a certain amount of writing. That's in the course outline that I'm given by the college, and it's a requirement that you do a certain amount of writing. So I had to expand this a little bit. It's still not as much as it used to be, but oh well. they have to suck it up because we do, right? Okay. So anyway, now this is a 7 to 9 page research essay, which gives you lots of latitude. I think you can write as few as 7 full pages. Okay, not 6.5, not 6 3/4, but 7 full pages, or you can write as many as 9 if you want. Okay, if you feel like you have a lot to say about this topic. And this is manageable. You shouldn't feel stressed out at the prospect of writing a 7-page paper. You can all do it. And we're going to do it incrementally. You'll see in a minute. Okay, and it's on this broad topic that we've been talking about and that I talked about to you a couple of weeks ago when I first introduced this assignment. All right, all of these different concepts that we've covered now in class should be familiar to you. And if they aren't, then you need to, do some more learning about them using that website that I showed you. That's a Google site that's linked in that 6.8 quiz. But these should be familiar concepts to you. And then a thorough treatment of this topic will naturally discuss all of these following key aspects of the issue. Concepts of identity based on race and ethnicity, which we talked about in class today extensively. The effects of implicit bias and stereotypes. Now, again, here's that word, effects. And I talk about material effects up here somewhere, I think. The various impacts, perhaps I put it that way. Okay, but this is about the things that happen to people because of these ideas we have about race and what we think that means. Okay, so those need to be discussed in this essay. Whether racial discrimination is still a significant impediment to the equitable and just treatment of people of color, right? If it's just once in a while, if it's like, police brutality is just about a few bad apples, and we just need to get rid of those few bad police officers who don't know how to act, or if it's a systemic problem, right, that affects lots and lots of people and that isn't going away just by firing a police officer here and there, which, by the way, rarely happens. Okay, but the extent to which, I should change that. In fact, I'm going to right now. I'm going to say extent to which, right? Because it's not whether, it's pretty clear. All right, but the extent to which, how big of a problem is it, is what I'm asking here. And I hope that makes sense, because you're not here for me to ask you if it makes sense. And then the difference between individual versus institutional systemic structural racism. And we've talked extensively about this. And this is the discrimination on the basis of race that is built into the way we do society. Okay, the different institutions that we have that we developed as a way of organizing ourselves and managing our lives. Okay, there's discrimination built into those, as I've mentioned previously. And then you're going to need to pick a specific thing to focus on, a specific aspect of this huge issue that you need to focus on. And here, these are some suggestions. You don't necessarily need to limit yourself to these. Okay, but let me show you the course website where you can go to learn more about these. You can get there really fast. So I do not want to belabor this video. I don't want to make a long one. I want to make a short one. Okay, right here, and I don't want to look at it that way. I got to move my Zoom window. I want to look at it this way. All right, go up here. Essays, essay 3, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, and these are a bunch of materials that relate to those specific topic suggestions that I give you in the assignment sheet. Okay, and you're free to use any of these that you want in developing your essay. But you can see they're categorized. This is about institutional racism. All of these materials are about different aspects of institutional racism. We've talked a little bit about the wealth gap, wealth inequity, and what the reason for that is. Is it just because people of color are bad with money? No, it's not. Okay, white adult professionals stereotyping children of color. All children are not treated the same, you guys, by adults. Did you know that? All right, racial discrimination in real estate. Okay, this is about that too. This is about racial discrimination in real estate. I talked to some of you about, you know, the fact that my parents, white people, were able to buy a home in a neighborhood where the value of their home appreciated a lot. And I have acquaintances who are Black who bought a home in a different neighborhood in Southern California, and their house did not appreciate the same way. And the reason those people bought the home they bought versus the one my white parents bought is because of discrimination in real estate and in lending practices by banks. And this is an article that documents that. In real estate, landlords, rent lighting, housing values, and discrimination. That's what that's about. And I could go on, okay? But this is just to show you that there are more materials that you can look at to help you understand how to go about, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Where's my, oh, it's down here. How to go about making a decision about this, what specific topic that you want to focus on for your essay. Okay, because again, as with essay 2, with this assignment, I want you to go deep. I don't want you to just skate over the surface of these complex issues. All right, I want to see a substantial analysis and discussion of them in your essay. All right, so picking a specific topic. All right, and then the minimum source requirement here. Okay, at minimum in this 7 to 9 page paper, when it's all done, you need to have referred to and cited, according to MLA style guidelines, which we'll talk about next week, a minimum of 6 sources. That's the minimum. Minimum means C, right? Okay, so you may need to use more sources because your paper is going to not just be graded on whether you met the minimum requirements of the assignment, and again, that's a C, but it's going to be graded on how well developed it is, okay? What degree of critical thinking you have demonstrated about these issues in your essay. All right, so at least 6 sources, 2 of which need to be the sources that we talked about in class, that I assigned to you. And that includes these. Wise, that's White Like Me, that's the documentary. Ortiz-Cofer, that's The Myth of the Latin Woman. Gup, that's Who's a Whiz Kid. Kennedy, that's You Can't Judge a Crook. Rahab, that's Racial Profiling Makes for Dumb Security. Okay, those 5 sources that I assigned to you, you need to refer to at least 2 of them in your essay. And then you need to find 5 more on your own, which I'll talk about more in a minute. And then one of those 5, you need to refer to at least 4 of those 5 that you found on your own. Okay? All right, and then the source reports, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. You're going to write reports on the 5 sources that you find on your own. Talk more about that in a minute. And pre-writing, I'll talk about that in a minute. And then the rest of this is just the development process, the writing process for an academic formal piece of writing, which is what this is. Okay, first you do pre-writing, that's step 1. First you gather information, that's step 1. Then you do pre-writing, and then you decide whether or not you need to go find more sources, okay? Formulate a position or insight for this project. You don't have to make an argument, but you can. If you want to write about racial profiling as the main focus of your paper, then you can take a position on whether or not racial profiling is justified, okay? Whether or not you think it is okay and reasonable for law enforcement and other people to profile people on the basis of their race. And then you need to plan a pattern of organization, working plan, et cetera, okay? And more of the same stuff you're already familiar with. All right, so did I make changes? I don't know. I guess I do want to say them. Okay. All right, so that's that. Minimize. Okay, and that's the assignment sheet in a bit more detail than we have looked at it before. And this is the pre-writing part of the assignment that I just glossed over a moment ago. It's also in the assignment sheet, but it's right here. And this is work that you need to submit to this assignment. Okay, pre-writing, pre-research. So this is a brainstorm assignment. I'm asking you to think about what you already know or believe about the topic. And ask you to do this for essay 1 and essay 2 as well. And then there's that phrase again, material effects. All right, I'm asking you to think about the stuff that happens to people because of these ideas we have about race. Okay, and just brainstorm, okay, about your own experiences and observations of these things that we've been talking about. Because they're not just abstract concepts, they're real live things that people are living with and having experiences with. All right, and then gather information from sources. And again, I'm asking you to submit this work to this assignment. List the main arguments made in each of the readings assigned, and at least 3 points presented in support of each. So for example, with Ortiz-Cofer, I'm asking you to tell me what her overall main point is about stereotypes in that article, because that's what she's focused on. She's focused on stereotypes, right? And Gup, what is Gup's main point about positive stereotypes? Cofer's article is about negative ones, right? The ones that are not positive, that are not flattering, not good things to think or say about a person. Okay, that they are delimiting. That's what she focuses on most. The things that put people in a box and keep them there, right? And prevent them from growing outside of that box. About, Latina women. Okay, and Gup is talking about Asian stereotypes that are supposed to be positive, but in his view aren't. They're just as problematic as the negative ones. All right, so list the main points of each of the articles, Ortiz-Coe for Gup, Kennedy, and Rahab. And then 3 main points that they make in each of those articles. Okay, so what's the overall main point, and then what are 3 of their supporting points that they're making, or 3 pieces of evidence that they give in support of their main point. I'll change that right now. I'll add that. That's better. That's more clear. See, it's always a work in progress, you guys. It's endless. All right, so what did I just say? I said list the main arguments, the thesis made in each of the readings, and at least 3 points. Okay, 3 points or pieces of evidence. I'm a terrible typer. / specific examples. Look at that. I'm the worst typer in the world. Okay, hopefully that's more clear now. Presented in each of the articles. Okay, presented in, let me make that more clear. Each article to, crap. Article to article, also I'm really tired, to support the main point. So help me spell check. Thank you. All right, hopefully that's more clear now for your list. And then consider what you still need or want to find out about the topic. Okay, that's going to help you after this brainstorming that you do and this listing. That'll give you an idea both of what specific topic you want to pick, and then of what additional sources that you want to find, where you want to go looking for those sources. Sources about what? Sources about your specific topic. That's what you want to find for the 5 additional sources you need to find on your own. Let me save this. Okay. So then once you've made that decision of what types of sources you still need to help you develop the main point you want to make about this topic, okay, then you go looking for them. Okay, and the first 2 that you find need to come from peer-reviewed journal articles and newspapers. And these are the things that you're going to write short reports on. You're going to find 2 sources, 1 peer-reviewed journal article and 1 newspaper article, right? And then you're going to write a report on each one of those things. So 2 sources, 2 separate reports of 1 to 1.5 pages each. All right, and they need to be typed and formatted in a particular way, which I'll talk about in a second. Okay, but here are instructions for finding the first one, source report 1. Okay, you go to Academic Search Complete, and you get there through your library database. Here's a search process that tells you how to do that. Let me look at it and see if it's still valid. Sometimes they change their website and then my pictures don't work anymore. Okay, this still looks good. I think it still looks like this. But the first thing you do is you go to the Hartnell College Library website, right? And on that website, you will see this list, Research Resources. Okay, and you click on that. And when you click on that, it brings you to a page that looks like this. And then you pick this database, Academic Search Complete, to search for your peer-reviewed journal article. Okay, and that these are the requirements for how to search for a peer-reviewed journal article. Right, you type in your topic, as will be obvious when you get there. Some of you have already used this database before, so this is just review. But when you're searching for your peer-reviewed journal article, you want to click these 2 boxes. You want to click full text, and you want to click scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles so that the only results you get will meet the requirements of the assignment. You don't want to pick an article that's not a scholarly peer-reviewed journal article because it won't work. You won't get credit for it, and you will have wasted your time and have to do it over. Okay, I don't want that to happen to you. All right, and then you can limit the date if you want. Before you click search, you can limit the date. You can also limit the date after you click search. But this is an example of what it looks like when you get your result. The result looks like this, and this is number 57 in a result on a search that I did. Okay, breakfast in 2040. I don't even remember what that was about when I did this search so I could get this picture. But then you need the full text, the PDF of the article. And this is what it looks like, I think. You know what, I should probably check that. And then you click on this, and when you click on that, this opens up, and then you can see what is essentially a picture of a journal article, what it would look like in a paper book if you pulled it off the shelf and looked at it. This is a digital copy of a journal article. And then you need to download it, as it says right here. And you do that by clicking this little box right here. You can download it right there. Okay, you can also download it over here. Yeah, you can download it up here, download PDF, it says. All right, and then write a 1 to 1.5 page report on the article following the guidelines in the assignment sheet and upload the report and article to the Canvas assignment. So you're going to be uploading 4 documents, possibly, to this single Canvas assignment, this assignment right here. 2 article files, 2 PDFs that you find in the college databases, one from Academic Search Complete, as I said right here, and one from ProQuest National Newspapers, which is a different database. Okay, and you're going to pull the PDFs, 1 each, 2 of them. You're going to upload those to this assignment. And you're going to upload your reports to this assignment, the things that you write. If you're using Google Docs, you can put both of your reports in one file because as you may know, Canvas only allows the submission of 1 Google Doc per assignment. I don't know why, it's annoying, but that's the way it is. So you can put both of your reports into 1 Google Doc file, but you have to format them separately. And I'll explain what that means in a minute. Okay, but this search process that I just showed you for Source Report 1, there's another one right there for Source Report 2. And the way you add multiple files to a single assignment is click Add Another File. Okay, so first you add a file, okay, you upload a file, and then once that file has been chosen, then you can add another. You can add multiple files to a single and upload them at once to a single Canvas assignment. While I'm thinking about this, let me show you something else that in case you forget what I just said about uploading multiple files to a single Canvas assignment, you can go here to review how to do that. This is in Module 1. This is the how-to guide that I gave you at the beginning of the semester. Oops, where is it? Right there in Module 1, submitting multiple files to one assignment in Canvas. So this gives you multiple scenarios for how to go about doing this. Okay, if you forget, you can do resubmit. If you resubmit, it'll look to you like the previous submission was wiped out, but it wasn't. I can see them all. Everything that you submit to a Canvas assignment is visible to me. And there's a video explaining how to submit multiple files to a single Canvas assignment. Okay, but as I was saying, here's a search process for using the database called ProQuest, finding an article from that database through your college library website. All right, you start at Research Resources again, but this time instead of Academic Search Complete, you pick ProQuest. And this lays out the process. And I think this is current. Okay, let me go to the library real quick with you and check to make sure. There's my Now College link. And I just go all the way down to the bottom of the page and click on that to get there. And then there's Research Resources right there. Click on that. And there's that list I was just showing you. There's Academic Search Complete. There's ProQuest Newspapers. Okay, let me look at Academic Search Complete to see if they have changed things. You're going to need to put in your ID, okay, to access the databases off campus. I think you do still. Right, and then here's where you type in your topic that you're searching for. Let me search for racial profiling. Ugh. I told you I'm a bad typist. Racial. There it is right there. Thank you for helping me, Academic Search Complete. And then I want to go down here and click these 2 boxes. All right, and as I said, I can also limit the year, but I can do that later. In this demonstration, I'm just going to click Search. All right, and there's a bunch of results, 377 of them. They're all peer-reviewed journal articles. I can check my limiters over here and make sure, yep, I limited to just full text, because otherwise why bother? There's plenty, 377 for you to choose from. Okay, and scholarly peer review. There's the PDF I told you about. Okay, and if I click on it, it does indeed take me to a page that looks like that picture I showed you. Okay, notice that these are long. Peer-reviewed journal articles are long. And just in case you didn't know, a peer-reviewed journal article is called that because it's written by an expert and then reviewed by a bunch of other experts before it's published, excuse me. That's what the peer review means in peer-reviewed journal article. Is this guy, Adam, Omar Hussein, is an expert on this topic. Okay, this is the Journal of Political Philosophy. He probably has a PhD. Okay, and this is about the racial profiling of Muslim people, or people who are perceived by others to be Muslim and therefore terrorists. Rahab talks about this. Alrighty, and whether or not that, I assume it's about whether or not that is justified. Okay, while racial profiling of Black and Arab people is unjust, the profiling of other groups may be permissible. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, so that would be, I'm interested in reading this. I'm not going to, but I would be if I had time on my hands, which I do not. Okay, but from here, you guys just need to be prepared that these are long, all right? So you're gonna need to download the peer-reviewed journal articles and read them and annotate them, okay? And submit that to the Canvas assignment. All right, and as I said, you can do that by clicking here. Okay, you can do that if you, let me move my Zoom window so you can see. If you hover, this goes away if you move your cursor down. This thing above, you saw it just go away, but if I put my cursor back, it comes up. And there's the download button right there. You can also print from here if you want. You can print over here. Okay, you can email this to yourself, all right, as a PDF, but you need to have the PDF downloaded to your device so that you can upload it to Canvas as a file. I hope that makes sense. All right, so that's academic search complete. Let me close that and let me show you ProQuest. There's ProQuest, just to make sure my pictures are still current. Okay, so there's where you type in your topic. All right, and you limit it to full text, please. There's no reason. There's millions of newspaper articles on any topic that you want. Okay, and then there are some other limiters in this assignment that you need to apply to the search that you do in ProQuest. Let's take a look. Okay, so these are the limiters that you need to apply. Search, apply limiters. Document type, it needs to be newspapers, or source type, newspapers, document type, article, language, English. Okay, let me show you. These are down here. Source type, newspaper, document type, article, language. You can choose Spanish if you want, if that's your first language, or any of these others. Okay. Alrighty, but before you click search, apply these limiters so that you only get this type. Otherwise, you're going to be wading through literally thousands of articles that won't work for you. Okay, let's see, where was I? Was I here? Yes, I was. And then pick one article to download. You don't need to print it. That's for before, when we were in class together physically versus virtually. Okay, but you do need to submit the PDF, okay, to Canvas. Right, and when you search for this, that's what it looks like when it's full text, I think. You can save as PDF by clicking on that. And again, here are the instructions for submitting multiple files to a single Canvas assignment. Okay, so that's source reports 1 and 2, how to find the articles that you need to fulfill the requirements for this assignment. And then the next thing you do once you find the articles is write your reports. All right, read and annotate the material thoroughly, and then write a report following these guidelines, 1 to 1.5 pages. State your research question. I'll show you an example of that in a minute, and format the info as an entry about the source for your works cited. I'll show you an example of that. And then this is how you develop the report. This is what needs to be in the report. Explain what the report is about. Summarize it briefly. Then analyze it briefly. Is it reliable, credible? Who's the author? Okay. Is there anything you disagreed about? Okay. And then this is the most important thing that needs to be in your source report. How do you think you will be able to use it to develop your project? Okay, and that's just a sentence or two. Okay, how at this point in your thinking about this project do you think you'll be able to use these articles? Because if you don't know, then you should pick different articles. Don't just pick random articles to get this assignment done. Pick ones that will be useful to you in developing your paper. Otherwise, you've wasted your time and my time grading them. All right, here's a sample source report that you can use. Oh, this is a template you can follow. I said I'd talk to you about a research question and about formatting it properly. So this gives you a sample you can just follow. Yours should look the way this one looks on the page. It should have a header. It should have a heading. That's you. Excellent student. Okay. That looks like this. Here's the research question. Okay. And once you did your pre-writing and figured out what you still need to know about the topic in order to develop your ideas about it, that's your research question. What are you looking for in your research? What kind of information are you looking for? What kinds? All right, and then here's the MLA formatted works cited entry for this source. All right, when you're in the databases, okay, you can ask, here, let me do racial profiling here too. Profilin, did I do it? Racial, oh, I'm such a bad speller. Racial PRO, there we go. Oh, racial profiling pros, huh? Let me get rid of the pro. I just want racial profiling, okay? All right, and you can add other limiters to this as well if you want to narrow your search. But just for the sake of an example, I'm just going to click search now, see what we get. All right, so there's the full text I said you would have, right? It's a PDF, again, which is good. Okay, and then, where was I? It was here. Oh. So you can use the database to help you format your works cited entry according to the MLA requirements. Okay, so if I want this PDF full text, okay, and I'm going to download it, there it is right there. There's a picture of the newspaper article. Okay. And if I want ProQuest to format the works cited entry for me, I can ask them to, right here where it says cite. All right, and you want to pick MLA. Do they have the 8th edition? Get out of my way. Zoom window. Get the hell out of my way. Okay, so this is APA. We don't want that. We want, I guess they only have 7th. That's fine. I don't care. MLA 7th is fine. But there, they formatted it for you. So now you can just copy and paste that into your source report. Yay, you don't have to worry about it. Okay? You can copy it right there. Alrighty. Let me go back here. So that needs to go there. And then this explains how to develop your report. The first paragraph, as I said, should briefly summarize the source. Okay, oh, that's wrong. I don't know why that says stem cell research. That's about free speech. Okay. And then after the summary, analyze the source and then explain how you will use it, like I said. And that's the report that you write on the 2 sources that you find for this assignment. Okay, oh, and there's the link to the thing I showed you that's in module 1. Wow, I really set you guys up nicely for success. Now it's all up to you to do it. And to ask me questions if you don't understand any part of it, okay? So let's see if there's anything else I wanted to talk to you about. We talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about Essay 3 more broadly. Okay, and then I'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk about those articles, the 4 articles that I've given you to read. So review those before class, and then we'll talk about how to go about developing a rough draft of this assignment. All righty, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this and go drink some water or something. I'll talk to you later. Have a good weekend.